"I want a child from you," said the Apache warrior to the shy farmer. What happens when witness this unbelievable true inspired story right here on Whisper of the Past. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share where you're watching from. Let's get started. In the vast, rolling plains, where the wind swept freely and the sun painted golden hues across the horizon, lived a shy farmer named Elias. He was a quiet man, content with the rhythm of the land and the gentle sway of his crops. Every morning, he tended to the soil, spoke softly to the plants, and felt at peace with the simplicity of life. Though his heart was tender, he kept it guarded, shy of the world and its complexities. One day, as Elias worked near the edge of his field, the distant sound of hooves approached. At first, he thought it was a group of traders, but as the rider drew closer, the sight that greeted him was unlike anything he had ever seen. A tall Apache warrior, his presence commanding, rode toward him. His movements were fluid, almost blending with the wind, his eyes burning with a quiet intensity that seemed to pierce through the very fabric of the day. The warrior dismounted and approached Elias with a purposeful stride. There was an aura around him that spoke of battles fought, victories won, and a life lived in alignment with nature's raw laws. Yet, beneath this fierce exterior, Elias sensed a depth of humanity that tugged at something dormant within his own heart. Without hesitation, the Apache warrior spoke. His voice was steady, unwavering, carrying a weight that made the moment almost sacred. "I want a child from you," he said. Elias froze, his mind racing, his heart pounding in ways it never had before. These were not words he had ever anticipated, and yet, in their simplicity, they held a profound significance. It was not a demand, nor was it a threat. There was a vulnerability in the warrior's declaration, a longing that transcended language, culture, and expectation. For a long moment, silence enveloped the field. The wind stirred the tall grasses, whispering secrets that only nature could understand. Elias, shy and reserved, felt a rush of emotions that confused and exhilarated him at the same time. He looked into the warrior's eyes and saw more than desire. He saw a vision of legacy, of connection, and of a future that neither of them had dared to imagine until this moment. Slowly, Elias found his voice, timid yet filled with a quiet courage. Why me?" he asked, his words barely rising above the rustle of the leaves. The warrior's gaze softened, and he knelt down, placing a hand over his heart. "Because there is a strength in you that the world has not yet seen. A gentleness that can nurture life, and a spirit that can endure beyond the storms. I want to leave something of myself in this world that is pure, unbroken, and alive through you." Elias felt a warmth spread through him, a feeling that was both terrifying and beautiful. He had lived quietly, never daring to imagine such intensity in his life, and yet, here it was, offered with honesty and respect. It was more than a request, it was an invitation to transcend fear, to embrace life in its rawest, most profound form. Days passed, and the two men spent time together, learning from each other. The warrior taught Elias about the rhythms of nature, the ways of the land that only someone who had lived in harmony with it could understand. In return, Elias showed the warrior the art of patience, of tending to life gently, nurturing growth slowly, and listening to the quiet whispers of the earth. Their bond deepened, built on trust and mutual respect. The farmer, once shy and withdrawn, found himself opening up in ways he never thought possible. The warrior, fierce and commanding, revealed a tenderness that mirrored the gentleness of the fields Elias had always tended. It was a partnership forged not just in desire, but in the profound understanding that life, in all its forms, requires both strength and compassion. And then, one evening, under a sky painted with the fire of the setting sun, the warrior spoke again. "Are you ready?" he asked softly, his voice carrying both hope and reverence. Elias, who had once hesitated at the thought of such intimacy, now felt a quiet certainty. He nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility and the thrill of possibility intertwine. Together, they embraced a union that was both tender and powerful, a moment where the boundaries of culture, fear, and hesitation dissolved into something eternal. Time flowed like a river after that. Elias and the warrior prepared for the arrival of a child, a living testament to their connection. The shy farmer learned courage in ways that no field or harvest could ever teach, and the Apache warrior found a sanctuary in the heart of someone who had once seemed too timid to face the world. Their child, when born, carried the legacy of both their lives, a blend of strength and gentleness, courage and kindness, rooted in the land and guided by the spirit of their union. The tale of Elias and the Apache warrior is more than a story of desire. It is a story of courage, the courage to be vulnerable, to embrace love in all its forms, and to honor the connections that life offers us, however unexpected they may be. It reminds us that sometimes, the most profound relationships emerge not from force or expectation, but from honesty, respect, and the willingness to meet another soul with openness. In the quiet of the plains, where the wind carries whispers of the past, the story lives on. It is a reminder that every life, no matter how shy or hidden, has the potential to touch another in ways that are transformative and eternal. The farmer and the warrior, in their unlikely bond, became a living testament to the beauty of courage, the depth of love, and the enduring power of human connection. And so, as the sun sets over the fields and the stars emerge to watch silently, remember this: sometimes, the most extraordinary moments in life are born from the simplest acts of honesty and the bravery to say what the heart truly desires. Thank you for joining us on Whisper of the Past. If this story stirred something within you, remember to like, share, and subscribe, so that more whispers from history can find their way to you. Every story, every echo, carries a lesson, a truth, and a reminder that the past is never truly gone. It lives within us, waiting to be heard.